The Mark 8 ecosystem has served me well for the last few years. It has been an easy to source, robust, and quite suitable package for my needs. But as of recently, I've started going faster and faster with my 3D printing. And I'm finding that Mark 8 really just can't keep up. Its flow rate is just not there. I cap out at about maybe 12 millimeters cubed per second at the very most at like ridiculously high temperatures. But before I say goodbye to the ecosystem entirely, I want to give it one last hurrah. So I got a CHT nozzle, and we're going to try and do a speed benchy on this machine as reasonably fast as we can get it. So let's figure out our flow rates and then try a quick benchy. So we got that basic flow test that you can do from Orca Slicer, and we're going to see how much this PLA Pro at 220 degrees can go. Alright, we are starting to lose some definition. This is approximately 15 millimeters cubed per second right now. This is what it looks like when you start to under extrude. You start leaving gaps in your plastic. We got about 15 millimeters cubed per second before we really started getting to some really unacceptable levels of this stuff. So let's go ahead and swap out the nozzle. We are moving from a standard M2 hardened steel nozzle over to a brass CHT. So, you know, brass is more conductive, and then the CHT core is copper. That's even more conductive. So it's not really an apples to apples comparison here. But we're not comparing. We're trying to get speed. We got the standard nozzle on the left and the CHT on the right. The CHT is squeezing out just a teeny tiny bit more performance out of this Mark 8 system. But well, we're only really going to know what this translates to in the real world by printing something. So let's go ahead and see how fast we can go. Realistically, there's some things I could tune better in Orca Slicer. I'm still really new to that slicer. I'm migrating from Cura. And there's definitely a learning curve to going from one to another. So, you know, there's certain layers that are taking longer than they should. So, that being said, I still want to retain some semblance of quality to resemble a boat. I don't want it to just be a blobby mess of plastic. So I do have it so that the walls are a little slower than the infill and stuff like that to try and, you know, make a boat, not a blob. See, it goes really slow at certain spots, but then immediately, you know, when you're doing some other stuff, it speeds up. I have two benchies here. The left was printed with a standard nozzle, and the right was printed with the CHT nozzle. And as you can see, we have some flow now at these speeds. Enough that, you know, for a 40-minute benchy, that's not terrible. Definitely could change some settings over here. But, still has me thinking, is Mark 8 just done at this point? I mean, we've kind of moved on past these styles of nozzles that are separate from the heat break. Like, right now, I'm switching over to Revo. I mean, Revo's not that much better with flow, unless you get a high flow variant, but it's a lot simpler to change out. So, honestly, Mark 8 had its time to shine. And if you're still on a Marlin printer going at pretty slow speeds, it's probably going to be fine for a while. But in this era of high-speed printing, honestly, Mark 8, it's time to move on.